you don't know to what degree the status of the resistance is. So if you start to destroy stuff to hurt the regime, well, it hurts the resistance. That's the only consideration. But you can do anything you want to do. In fact, for the next 3 years, you could do anything you want to do. We went in there to curtail or destroy their nuclear potential, to stop their ballistic missile and drone fleet, to stop their subsidizing of terrorist groups in the region, and to make them not a threat to the United States in general and the West, the United States in particular, and the West in general.
One of the most important speakers of our generation is a great Victor Davis Hanson. Here he is confronting the left, say that we've lost the war, but really Trump is winning. So don't forget to leave your comments below, subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you on the other end of the video.
There is a CBS report out that the war was not as successful as the administration has presented it, and this is what they say, and I don't know what you think about this. Half the missiles and launchers are still
How do
operational
they
in
know
the
that?
military. I don't
They don't know how
know.
many
This
are
is
there. They have no idea how
they're
many are there.
they say 60% of the naval forces, which are all those small boats that
Those
they
are those
are
are
still operational.
you're talking about $300 or $400 million ships. Over 100 have been destroyed, and these motorboats are probably three or $400,000. I mean, it's nothing, and you can destroy them. What are they going to do? One of them is going to go up to a destroyer or a carrier. They're going to blow. If they want to, they can blow it up the moment it leaves port.
I
So
agree.
that's
That's
nothing.
ridiculous. And then the last thing they said in this report, 2/3 of the Air Force is still usable. Where they get that, I don't
Where they
know.
get that, I don't know. They say they're in tunnels or something.
I don't know. The Air Force in tunnels?
They Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a war, not even Vietnam. When I was in high school, people really opposed the w and a lot of them wanted the North Vietnamese men, but I've never seen people so overt that they want the United States to lose and they want Iran to win.
And they want it to look like the United States is
Yeah,
losing, yeah.
and it has a lot to do with the what the nature of the left is. It's like the '60s left. It's even creepier because it's got this Islamic, element in it. But if you actually look at dispassionately and you look at the entire Middle East, 500 million Arab Muslims, it's hard to find a country that's not on the side of the United States, even with Israel as an ally. That's what's so strange. They all are terrified of this Iranian Shia theocracy, and they're happy to see it defanged. And countries like Egypt or Jordan, they'll keep quiet about it. And the Gulf states will be quiet, but they're egging us on all the time, finish the job. They're giving us money to finish the job. They're helping the Israelis. They say, whatever you need, we'll help you. Just finish the job. And
Yeah,
the only Iranian strategy is delay, delay, delay. And when everybody said, well, what are we going to do? Well, what can't we? That's the wrong question. It's what can we not do? You want to take out the bridges like Clinton did in Serbia? You could take them out tomorrow, all of them. You want to take out the power plants like Clinton did in Serbia? You could do it tomorrow. You want to take out all of the port facilities, destroy everyone? You could do it tomorrow. You can do anything you want. There's only one taboo, and that is nobody wants to put ground troops in there. And the other taboo is you don't know to what degree the status of the resistance is. So if you start to destroy stuff to hurt the regime, well, it hurts the resistance. That's the only consideration. But you can do anything you want to do. In fact, for the next 3 years, you could do anything you want to do if you wanted to attack Iraq. So when Chancellor Merz in Germany, who's all over the place, two-faced, he's like a one-eyed jack. You flip him over, and he's got the opposite what he says. And now he says there was no strategy. There was no, just we went in there mindlessly. No, we went in there to do four things, and it was articulated again and again. We went in there to curtail or destroy their nuclear potential, to stop their ballistic missile and drone fleet, to stop their subsidizing of terrorist groups in the region, and to make them not a threat to the United States in general, and the West, the United States in particular, and the West in general. And it seems to me that they're not going to be able. to do much with their missile fleet if we're hitting the factories and the economy's ruined and they have enriched uranium somewhere. I don't know where we're going. That's one thing we need to get, but we can always bomb that again and again and again. They don't have any money. If they're losing $500 million a day, the people are not going to allow that money to go to Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis. 50, 80 million a month. They're not going to allow that to happen. They'll go, and they have a population that's on the verge of revolt, and they've lost all of their command and control, first and second echelon. So I don't understand that we're losing or we haven't done it, and we haven't suffered anything other than tragically 13 dead. Period. That's it.
Well, there he was, the great Victor Davis Hanson. I got to tell you something. He just knocks it out of the park time and time again. I mean, there's been all these reports that somehow Donald Trump is not successful, that we're not winning the war in Iran. It's about ridiculous. I mean, some of the claims include about half the enemy missiles and launchers are still operational, maybe 60% of the naval air force, two-thirds of the air force is still usable. I mean, this is just ridiculous. He just confronts us by saying, we don't know if any of these claims are actually true. I mean, these are small naval boats and are cheap and are not strategically significant. And he has a lot of skepticism about Air Force survival claims and tunnels and argues damage to enemy capability is substantial. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. What's really going on is, the bottom line is that this is the Trump derangement syndrome. There's no question about it. I mean, the political left wants to see the United States lose. And isn't that sad, ladies and gentlemen? Isn't it sad that we have politicians in this country that want the United States to lose? That means that they want you to lose. Think about this. If we lose this war, which we're not going to, it means we have less influence in the Middle East. We have less stability in terms of oil. And we have an Iran which is going nuclear. Iranians are saying, give us 15 years. We won't enrich our uranium. First of all, in 15 years, they don't know the next American president, if he's going to enforce it. They have no idea. Probably won't. If it's a Democrat, they'll let him do whatever they want to do, just like Obama, just like Biden. I mean, they went to town with Obama, getting billions of dollars, allowing to enrich uranium for 10 years. That's what they want to do. They want to stall and stall and stall. I don't think Trump should give an inch to these people. But the left just wants them to win. They want the Iranians to win. But everybody loses. The left wins in this country. Everybody loses it. There's a verse in the Bible, the Torah, that reads, "You shall carefully guard your lives. V'nishmartem ma'od l'nafshosechem." Most people think this is just about avoiding obvious dangers, but it's more than that. Your health, your well-being, your future, it's your responsibility. And to guard that properly, you have to plan ahead. When it comes to Medicare, that isn't easy, and I know a lot about this. There are thousands of different Medicare options, and it's extremely difficult to know which one is best for you. Most people only see a handful of options, and many pick plans based on low premiums that don't provide the care that they will eventually need. That is why, if you're unsure what Medicare is best for your individual needs, you should speak with someone who can help you choose wisely. My personal advice is to speak with Chapter. Chapter is the only advisor that compares every single Medicare plan nationwide. They search for plans that fit your doctors, your medications, and your life. They help you find the coverage that actually fits. Their help is totally free, and their advice is truly unbiased. Give them a call today at 877-907-4755. Again, that's 877-907-4755, or go to askchapter.org/rabbi. And of course, there's a lot of alignment with anti-war sentiment and Islamic elements penetrating our country right now, just like they penetrated in England and in France and in Germany, that's falling apart economically. And it's very serious. And he grew up during the Vietnam War. He says he was in high school or college during the Vietnam War. And he says today's Islamofascists, the left of this country, the Muslims, the Islamofascists, they're actually more extreme than past conflicts like Vietnam. I think this is 100% on. And people are scared of these people. They really shouldn't be. But you have to understand something massive happening in the Middle East. Many Arab countries, this is a real secret, are quietly supporting US and Israel against Iran. So we have the left in Europe, we have the leftists in the United States and the Western world. We have the Arab states being more aligned with Israel. It's unbelievable what's going on today. There's more Islamic extremism in the West today than there is actually in the Middle East. We know that because the Islamic Brotherhood is outlawed in places like Egypt, in places like Saudi Arabia, in places like UAE, in places like Bahrain. But now in the West, they're replanting themselves. I had the opportunity to interview Ayaan Hirsi Ali, and she was also worried about these extremists like CARE, the organization CARE, and the Muslim Brotherhood getting strength in the West, where they're becoming much more weaker in the Middle East. And of course, these people in the Middle East are scared of the Iranian Shiite theocracy. I mean, of course, they should be scared of them. I mean, they're dangerous people, but hopefully Donald Trump is going to take them out. And VDS is trying to very carefully encourage the US to finish the job. We're all there. This is a once in a century opportunity. We're already set up. There's no boots on the ground like all the crazies on the right we're mentioning, the extreme right, not the center right, of course, not the Republican Party. There's no boots on the ground, even according to the left, that are worried about this. Nothing is happening. But what we're not worried about, I think, is most important is the stability in the Middle East, the nuclear weapons that they could get, God forbid, the Iranians, and the hundreds of thousands of people they intend to murder, kill, maim, and torture the Iranian Shias. So we're doing a great job over there, but all the Iranians are trying to do is delay, delay, delay. That's their stall tactics, and they're trying to avoid direct confrontation while buying time. Well, there's a great person in the White House. His name is Donald J. Trump. He's not putting up for any of this. I mean, we can strike their infrastructure at any moment we want, their bridges, their power plants, their ports easily, but it has to be restrained because we don't want to destroy their infrastructure. Because what if the revolutionaries there really want to fight back against the Islamic forces, the Islamic occupational forces, turning their entire country into slaves? What if they want to fight back? They don't have bridges, they don't have power plants. So he's being restrained because of that. And of course, he has no desire to deploy ground troops at this point. But I think we have to remind ourselves that what VDS does is the main objectives of this war: destroy nuclear capabilities, we're almost there, stop missile drone programs, end support for terrorist groups, and reduce the threat to US and the West right now. That's the most important thing to do right now. The Iranian economy is clearly severely damaged, leadership structure is weakened, the population is potentially at a near revolt with actually minimal U.S. casualties, thank God. And he also pointed out the hypocrisy of European leaders, especially the Germans, because they are weak. They said Donald Trump has no strategy. The Germans have no strategy. Islamofascists taking over the country, open borders and social tensions, energy policy failures, ending nuclear and coal and going to wind and other things. I mean, they're just ridiculous. They're just a dying culture, low birth rates, and military underinvestment. Actually, Israel has a greater military than Germany has right now. It's unbelievable. So how can they fight against the Russians if they're so weak internally? I mean, Europe depends heavily on the United States for defense and funding, and all they do is criticize our president, criticize the United States while actually relying upon it. But the U.S. outlook is really actually strong, according to VDS. Energy independence is growing, military expansion underway, economic strength is expected to increase in the United States with the tariffs. So this is all kind of silly, and we have to keep on fighting, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost done. We're almost about to win the war right now. We're about to see a tremendous victory, a big W for Donald Trump and the Republican Party. The world is actually feeling safer right now. Our borders are closed. Illegal immigrants that are murdering, raping people are being sent out of this country, and the American army is back in business. We got Pete Hegseth at the front of it. We have a strong war against Iran right now. We're just about to win. We're just about to become stronger. And the people that want to stop it are the Democrats of America and the Democratic Socialist America. I wonder if they're really caring for America. They should be called the Democratic Socialists of the world, not the Democratic Socialists of America. The Democratic Socialists that want to destroy America should be their real name. Anyway, I want to hear what you have to say about this video. So don't forget to leave your comments below. Subscribe to this channel, and we'll talk to you in future great videos.